shoe.
A really big shoe. That's right. All right, here we go. We're going live. We're going live. Oh, take these off before people think I wear glasses.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, where'd you go? I can't see you.
I'm here.
I'm blind without my glasses. I can't see you anymore. You know, I got these reading glasses because I was having trouble reading like my phone and whatnot. But now I wear it and I take them off and now I can't see anything. It's like total eye fatigue.
Yeah, no, that
Ruins
does
my
happen.
sight
Yeah.
for about 10 minutes
Yeah.
or so.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, enough of that talk. Let's see. Make sure that we're live here. And we're going to be doing the radio show in just a minute. I can see we're live. We got a few people watching us live right now. Welcome to the behind the scenes before the show before the show. Today we're going to talk about something pretty fun, I think, something a little creative. It's going to be creative ways to promote your YouTube channel. And I'm not talking about the normal things you'd think of. We're going to talk about some out-of-the-box ideas that will kind of change the way that you do some of these things. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, Steve, with that, are you about ready?
I am about ready.
About ready. All right. Then I say, let's do it. Are you ready? Here we go.
Let her rip. Tater chip.
Let me make sure we got this. Since I can't read now that I had those glasses on, let me make sure I've got my song in the queue here. Oh, wait, you know what? Let's make sure that this is the right song.
He's ready.
Oh, it is.
It's labeled differently, so.
Amazing. Things are working.
It was labeled as something else, so. All right, here we go. In 3, and 2, and 1. Wait, hold on. Let's try that again. All right.
Okay.
On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, creative ways to promote your YouTube channel. And today's episode is made possible by freevideoeditor.co. Freevideoeditor.co is the place to go to get your video editor completely for free, and you can start editing like a pro. We even have a lot of great extras you can get when you head on over to freevideoeditor.co and download the Shotcut Video Editor. So head on over there now and get everything you need to edit like a pro with freevideoeditor.co and leave off the last M for mother. And Steve, I don't know if anybody noticed that's watching it live, but we're missing our scroller at the bottom here. And,
yeah.
That's my fault. We'll have to put that back on there. I think if I put it on now, it's going to be the wrong scroller. So let's find out what it says here. Yeah, that's the wrong one. It's got the wrong picture and everything. So that is definitely not the one.
Got skills?
Oh, well, what are you going to do? We'll get it back and running pretty soon. So today we're going to talk about something else. So we're going to talk about YouTube. But before we get into what we talk about in the main portion of the show, I wanted to mention something new that I really wanted to talk about today, but we really couldn't. We can, but we couldn't make an episode out of it. It wouldn't make sense. No. And that is the new YouTube animated previews, or animated thumbnails, as some people are calling them. And if you haven't seen this yet, essentially what we have now is on some videos, and I say some because it seems completely random here, on some videos, when you are on YouTube and you hover your mouse over that video, it plays a preview of that video right inside the thumbnail. So if you got a nice thumbnail, it's going to disappear for a second, and it's going to play 3 seconds of your video. Very, very cool stuff. The problem being, there's no control over it. We don't have any way to control, whether or not it's active. We have no way to control, whether your channel has that ability, and we don't even have control over whether you're on your end as you're watching, if you have the ability to see that yet. So right now, apparently it's rolling out, and some people may go to YouTube and not see those animated things at all. Some people may see it on some videos, some people may not. Depends on what browser you're using, so there's a lot of different factors. Apparently it's just too soon to really talk about it in detail, but very cool new feature they're starting to put out there that I think people will benefit from greatly if you can start seeing those previews as you hover over. I wish I could tell you need 100 subscribers and 1,000 views and you need a banner on your site. There's no rhyme or reason to it right now. In fact, one of the things that I noticed is even on my own channel, it's completely random. I've got some videos that do it, some videos that don't. Some videos that are 6 years old have it. Some videos that are brand new have it. Some of the ones in the middle, nothing. So it's impossible to really say why or how they're actually doing that. But good future feature that they're putting out there. So hopefully we'll get some more details on it. I was so excited. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to make a course on this and how to set it up, how to create them, how to pick the right thing. But yeah, you have no control over what 3 seconds of the video. You don't have control over what videos have it, which ones don't, what channels have it, what channels don't. You know, it's just up in the air right now. It's something they're just testing out. But very cool little feature, and I look forward to that. Now, another thing, Steve, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's another change, and this one has to do more with Google. If you guys remember from back, oh gosh, we're going back, 8, 9 years ago, when you did a search on Google, you'd almost always have videos on page 1, no matter what the subject was, and they would be in a little banner. In the middle of the page, there would be like this little banner, and it would have like 3 videos across. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? They've started to implement again. In some places, for some people, you're starting to see search results with those 3 videos side by side, in a line across. And in the cases that I've seen it, at the top of the search.
Very top.
At the very top of the search. And I've only seen it a couple of times so far. I've had other people report seeing it. Very exciting if they start to implement that, because I was a huge fan of always having a video on there so you had variety. If you're searching for a subject, always have videos, because you almost always have that little strip of graphics. Why not always have a video in case people want to see a video? I think that's a great idea. And of course, that really puts the onus on us to get to the top of the videos tab, because you're always going to have a video on there. So you're not necessarily fighting with Google to get a video on page 1. You're fighting to be the number 1 video when they always put a video on page 1. And I liked that much better. So hopefully that's kind of the direction they're going. I don't think it's going to go quite that far, but it is exciting to see that they're putting that strip of videos. Now, the one downside to that is I had some friends that are big into ranking, and they had a search where they had videos all the way down the page. They had like 7 spots of videos on the front page of Google, and all of a sudden, for some people, when they would search that, they would just see that bar across, so you'd only see the 3 of them now. Okay. What are you going to do? But it's exciting, and I think there's a big future in having that in there. If you got that in there, it'll really bring a big spark back to being the video that's number 1 there. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. So 2 new things going on that unfortunately we don't have enough details on to really give you a lot of insight, but definitely something worth mentioning because people are seeing it and it is exciting for the future. So let's get to our YouTube channels. Now I know that over the last year or so, we've had a lot of focus move from traditional YouTube marketing to advertising and to Facebook videos and live videos. So we've spread thin on a lot of the talk about YouTube, and I want to jump back to YouTube because obviously, regardless of whether you love Facebook videos or not, YouTube videos are still the king when it comes to long-term SEO with video. Because quite honestly, you put something on Facebook, it appears in somebody's timeline today and it's gone tomorrow, never to be found again unless you repost it. Whereas on YouTube, you put something out there and it just continues to get traffic and grows over time. And that's what we really like to see. So a combination of both is absolutely ideal. But of course, you need to have a nice, strong channel in order to get some of those videos noticed by people. So what I want to talk about is how can we promote our channel? Now let's start with the absolute basics here. This is the stuff that you should already know because we're going to talk more creative things, but make sure that you've got your channel set up properly, that you've got the graphic at the top. Make sure that you've got a graphic for your icon. Make sure that you're using a trailer video. Make sure that you've got your about section filled out. Make sure you've got links back to your website on your channel. Make sure you're using sections on the bottom of your channel page and a trailer and all that stuff. And make sure you're using playlists so that you've got more opportunities for people to find your videos. All those things are fantastic. You need to do them. Optimize your videos. Pick great titles that people are going to want to see and that have SEO value. Put in nice long descriptions. All of those things are going to help your channel. But what we want to talk about is very outside of the box things. So take those things that we just talked about, put them aside for a minute. Make sure you still do them, but put them aside as we talk about some more creative ways to do it. So one of the first ways that I actually promoted my YouTube channel outside of, sharing the link online was my business cards. Now, I know a lot of us don't have business cards these days. I had to go buy some the other day because I haven't had business cards in years, and I needed to give some out. So I ran to Office Depot and with my phone and said, here, I need a card made out of this. And they had me email them a little picture, and we made a card in about 5 minutes. Not a great card, but it was a card nonetheless. So back in the day when I had business cards all the time, one of the things that I did was I made sure that my YouTube channel was on the card And I even put a QR code on the back of the card. So you had a normal card on the front, on the back was a big QR code. If they scanned that QR code, it went directly to my YouTube channel, and that way people could start watching videos. So that's a great way to be able to promote that. Put it in there in writing if you need to, youtube.com/whatever. But also, try using something like a QR code. It's a great way to get people to just scan and go right to that page. So it's just a fun way to do that. Easy to get some traffic by doing that there. So another creative way, and this one's a little bit different, is what about t-shirts? You could have t-shirts talking about your YouTube channel. You could have the QR code on the channel. I've actually seen people walking the streets with shirts that advertise something and actually have a QR code on the shirt. Now, kind of weird if people are walking up to you and scanning your belly or scanning your back, but it is a great way to be able to do that. So something that could be helpful is, wear a t-shirt. It's almost like a billboard at that point in time, advertising your actual YouTube channel so you can get people, to check it out. What about branded accessories, mugs, hats, pens, pencils, whatever it happens to be, mouse pads? All of these things are items that can be given out to clients, to customers, to people that might be interested, and they're always going to remember. Imagine every day if they've got their mouse pad right there with your channel right there on the mouse pad. It's an easy way to, by the way, put the QR code on the mouse pad too. Why not, right? What the heck? That QR code is going to get a big workout today, but I'm a big fan of QR codes. I know some people say, oh, QR codes are dead. No, they're not. If they're used properly, they're very, very useful. But a mouse pad, any type of merchandise is going to be helpful and useful for that. And even if you've got online clients, let's say that you just sell products online, why not ship a mouse pad in the box that you're shipping out to them? Or if you know their address, just randomly mail it out to somebody that's a current client of yours. It's only going to cost you $1 or $2. And if they're paying you $1,000 a month, why not do something nice for them and at the same time get more advertising out of that by sending items, mugs, hats, mouse pads, you name it. Anything that you can put your name and your logo on is going to be a great way to promote that. Now, going back to some of the more fuddy-duddy type things, let's talk about email. Advertise your channel by putting it in your emails. Now, I know anybody who receives my emails is probably going to go, I never see your channel in your email. And you're right. I used to actually do that. In the old days, what I used to do is I used to have a more newslettery type style of email, which had graphics. It had my logo. It had, contact information of different things on there. And I cut back on that specifically so that we could focus on each email being what the subject actually is about. Now, we may go back and we may try that again and put those in there, but why not send out an email to your email list asking them to come to your channel, asking them to like your channel? If you send that out, even if you've got a 1,000 user base of emails, chances are if you mail something out and you ask them, hey, can you come and subscribe to my channel? Can you come and watch a video? I bet you'd get, out of 1,000 people, you'd probably get 100 people or more to do that. So imagine just getting 100 new people that are subscribed to your channel overnight just by sending an email out. Now, if you have 10,000, you could probably get 1,000 by the next day or in the next couple of days. So why not use email marketing to promote that channel? Obviously, you're not going to necessarily make money off of that. So if you're used to sending out emails directly to make money, this will be a little bit more delayed. You'll make money in the future as people see your videos and as you promote items. But it is a great way to do that. Now, another way to get people's attention is, of course, to use YouTube advertising. This is one of my favorite ways to get views to videos very, very quickly. And of course, when you put up a video, you want to get views very quickly because that really helps to boost that video. And one way to do that is just to throw $5 or $10 at that video with TrueView or YouTube advertising and get that traffic flowing to the video. If they go to the video, chances are they're going to like the actual page itself. And you can actually send traffic to your YouTube channel. You don't have to send it to a video. You can send it directly to a channel, which can also help to boost the channel as well. So think about doing that. It will cost a few bucks, but why not? It's worth it, right? Okay, another way to do that is, of course, to put it in your blogs and your websites. Everybody that uses a WordPress site can get a YouTube channel button put in there very easily. If you don't have a WordPress channel, you can get the code. You can paste it in your site very easily as well. But having your website with a link to the YouTube channel is a huge way to be able to get more people to that channel to watch videos and to subscribe to the channel. And while we're on the blogs, why not embed some of your videos there? You probably already do that, but embed them and ask people to come over and subscribe to the channel. Another great way to do that. How about a giveaway on your blog or your website? Have, just like you would have an opt-in form for an email, why not have an opt-in form where they have to subscribe to the channel in order to get the free download? It's another way to do that, and there are plugins that will help you to do that. Lead Pages, for instance, actually has a built-in YouTube channel subscriber opt-in. And so if you use something like Lead Pages, they've got that built in. But there are plugins that will do that for WordPress and for other sites as well. Okay? How about contests? Contests are a great way to be able to get more people to come to your website. So for instance, you could have a contest for, hey, subscribe to my site. The 100th subscriber is going to get, whatever the prize is. Anything like that can get more people to subscribe. And of course, in order to give that away, you got to reach at least 100 new subscribers. So by offering it for the 100th subscriber or the 1,000th subscriber, you're definitely getting people to do that. Now, one person that I know who actually has a podcast, one thing that he does is to get more subscribers to his YouTube channel. He also did this for Facebook likes as well, is offering bonus content if they reach a certain milestone. So, for instance, if they do a show once a week and everybody loves their show and they get a lot of viewers, they say, hey, as soon as we reach 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, we're going to give you a bonus episode. And so now you're going to have an episode in the middle of the week instead of just on Saturday or Friday. And that can really help to get people to go to the channel. So anything you can do like that is going to be a big help. What about a meetup group? Local marketing groups? Anything that, maybe it's even a local business group. Go to these groups, meet people, hand out that card, but ask people to subscribe to your channel. Put content on there specific to them before you go. So for instance, if you were going to a local marketing group, why not put a video up on your channel that, introduces yourself and talks about local marketing, and that way they have a reason to go back and look at that channel, look at that video, and hopefully subscribe. So another great way you can do that. Another one that's very popular with people, and I know this requires you getting outside the box a little bit, collaborations. Do something with another YouTube user or YouTube content creator. Make a video where both of you are talking about a subject, and that way you can each kind of share your audiences a bit and get more subscribers for both of you. That way people are getting even more great content. And of course, you can do this with as many people as you want, as often as you want. Just go out there, find somebody, and just be bold enough to say, hey, let's do a video together about X, Y, or Z. If you are if you're a baker, maybe there's a local bake shop. You could say, hey, let's get together and do a video on how to make a cake. Whatever it happens to be, any type of collaboration can be a big help with that. Another thing that you can do is to speak at live events. Anytime that you can get on stage, you have the opportunity to tell people where to find you. Well, they can find you on YouTube. They can find you on Facebook. Those are great opportunities to be able to do that. Now, what if you don't have speaking opportunities because nobody knows you yet? Nobody's going to bring you out and put you on stage. Well, why not hold your own live events? We're actually doing a local marketing live event here for our local businesses. We're going to bring them in and we're going to train them on a specific subject. And guess what they're going to have before they leave that particular live event? They're going to have the option to purchase things from me, and they're going to have the option to subscribe to my channel as well as subscribe to Facebook and everywhere else, because we want to keep in touch with them in as many places as possible, and we want to get more subscribers to our YouTube channel. So that's a great way to do that. What about a webinar? If you're doing a webinar and you're teaching something, you could send people to content on YouTube and get them to subscribe that way. Or you could just use that platform as an opportunity to say, hey, could you please subscribe to my channel? We'd love to have you do that. Okay. Now, here's a weird one, but it's one that actually it could be quite interesting. Why not put one of those magnets that businesses get on your car? Drive around in your car, or decals in the back window. It's a great way. You drive around town, people are going to see it. Believe me, I see things all the time. I even pull out my phone and I'll take a picture. Like if I see, somebody with a website on there and I want to check it out, it's Johnny Smith's Roofing Company. I'll take a picture because I know I'm going to go and try and hit Johnny Smith up later to do marketing. And so if I can see who these guys are and they're around, it gives me that in. So I'll actually take pictures of people's cars that have those things once in a while so I can get their website and whatever. Put your YouTube channel on there. Again, put Put your scan code on there. Why not have a scan code on the magnet so that people, you're parked in a parking lot at Wendy's, they can walk up and scan that and check you out. I've done that before. I've seen people do that on their cars where they've got scan codes, or sometimes they'll even put just a paper in the window and it'll have a scan code, and I'll scan it and check it out and see what it is. So another great way, and this is something we've actually talked about before, very, very effective and very, very fast at getting new people to subscribe to your channel. And that is to get out into the YouTube community, go to other people's videos that are related to what you do. So again, if you're a baker, go to other people's baking channels, cooking channels, and check out the content there, comment on it. And even better, look for comments from people that are asking questions. So for instance, if you're the baker, you go to somebody's, how to decorate cakes channel, and you're watching one of their videos, and someone says, hey, I'm trying to do one of those fancy little roses on the top of a cake. How do I do that? Well, nobody probably is answering them, because oftentimes people put out content and they don't give an answer. This is your opportunity to say, hey, here's exactly how to do it. You could even say, hey, here's exactly how to do it, and here's a video showing you on my channel. Some people might get mad that you're hijacking them by doing that, but honestly, you're answering questions, and the person who is seeing it is going to appreciate that. But even if you don't put a link, if you just give them the information, they're going to check you out. They're going to subscribe to you. I've seen it happen a billion times where people do that. You answer a question, and minutes later, on my desktop, and I've talked about this, we've got the little pop-ups in the corner, and it'll say, Johnny Smith just subscribed to your channel. It'll also pop up on my phone. So I can see, I go onto somebody's channel, I answer a question, and all of a sudden, a few minutes later, I see a pop-up with that same person who just subscribed to my channel. So it does happen, and it can happen very quickly. And the more you do that, the better you'll do. So definitely try to do that. Another thing you could do is to write in traditional media. A local newspaper, magazine articles, things like that. If you have the opportunity to appear in local media, you can put information to your YouTube channel in those articles that you write for those local papers or for those magazines. Great way to get the attention of people, great way to get people to sign up. So I highly recommend that you check that out. What about doing something that we're doing right now? How about a podcast? And I say that, and quite honestly, I don't think I ever tell people to subscribe to my channel on the podcast. But, it's definitely something that you should do. So, Ray the Video Guy on YouTube. Check it out. Make sure that you subscribe. Yeah, be happy that you did. But no, honestly, a podcast is a great way to get people to do a lot of different things, to buy products, as well as to go to your website. But why not tell them to go to your YouTube channel? Give them some reason why. You could talk about a certain video and then have them go there, and hopefully they'll subscribe. So, definitely some information that I should use when I'm doing my podcast here. So, we'll bring that up at a later date and try to change that. So that would be good. So going back, what about in your signature? So for instance, how many times a day do you send out an email? And do you have a signature block on the bottom of that email that has your name and your phone number and your, whatever, your website? Why not put a link to your YouTube channel right there? I think that's a great way to be able to do that. And believe me, people will check that out. Make sure in the bottom of there it just says, YouTube, and give a link. Let people click on that and they can subscribe to your channel. Very, very effective. Now, another way that you could do that is by providing actual business info inside of YouTube. And what I mean by that is, in one of the businesses that I have, I've got a whole bunch of videos that are all there on the channel, and people can purchase directly from there. So what I do oftentimes is when people say, well, can you show me the example? Oh, yes, right here, boom. And I send them to YouTube. And because on YouTube, it lists all of them, and they're video related, so you have to watch them anyway. So rather than send them to my website and have, embed them all or what have you, I send them directly to the YouTube channel where they're all listed right there, and people can go and check them out. So it's a very effective way to do that. Highly recommend if you can do that for certain products, send them right there to check it out. I've talked in the past about one business that I had started that had to do with video, and I didn't even have a website. Literally, I didn't even have much of a channel. I had a video, and the video talked about the product, and the first link in the description below was a direct link to PayPal to just pay me for it. And didn't have a website, no checkout, nothing. And believe me, we sold a lot of product doing that. Eventually, we did build a website and do the traditional things, but honestly, YouTube is powerful enough to drive a business like that. And by sending people directly to YouTube, you're going to get more, obviously, views, but also the potential for more subscribers. So highly recommend that you check that out. Another thing that you could do is to start using your social media. You know, are you advertising? And by advertising, I don't necessarily mean taking an ad, but are you advertising that you have a YouTube channel on Twitter? Are you doing it on Instagram? Are you doing it on Facebook? Letting people know that you have that. It's a great way to be able to get people back to your YouTube channel. Share videos on those platforms. Now, there's one downside to this. When you share a video from YouTube on Facebook, not a lot of people are going to see it. Facebook is literally going to suppress that and not let as many people see it. If you upload a video directly to Facebook, more of your audience are going to see that. And that's just Facebook, promoting their own stuff and pushing down other people's stuff. But what many people do is they do a thumbnail preview as an image, and you click that, and then you go to the YouTube channel. That's a very effective way to do that. You'll get in front of more people than if you embed the video sometimes. Try both. See what works for you. Hopefully, the idea is they click back, and by embedding the video in Facebook, they might watch it but never go back to your channel. So if you put an image, they click on it, they go to YouTube, now they have the opportunity everywhere to subscribe to you. So it's a great way to be able to do that. Okay? Interact with your audience. Okay? Make sure that when you're posting content, that you are posting content that they need, that you're telling them about it, that you're looking at comments, you're replying, doing all the things that are needed in order to really build an audience. Because if you build that audience, the people that you interact with today might be watching a video but not subscribers. You start interacting to them, they're going to subscribe. They might tell somebody else, then that person will subscribe. So just interacting with people and making sure that you're really fostering relationships is another way that's really going to help you to be able to do that. So highly recommend that you do that. Another great way, thumbnails. And again, we talked about thumbnails at the beginning. This is going to be changing for the better very soon. But right now, you can make amazing thumbnails that ask people to subscribe. And that's a great way to be able to get people, to really pay attention to your videos. The more they watch your videos, the more likely they're going to subscribe. The better your thumbnail, the more likely they're going to watch the videos. So be sure to do that. And a great thing to do is allow people to embed your videos. Never turn that off. Now, you could run into some issues where somebody takes your video and embeds it somewhere you really don't want it, but quite honestly, usually not an issue. If people take your videos and embed them somewhere else, it's an opportunity for an audience to see that video. It's an opportunity for them to watch. It's an opportunity for them to subscribe. So unless there's a really compelling reason to not allow it to be embedded anywhere, I would highly recommend that you allow embeds and let people do that work for you, because it's definitely going to help in the end there. So another thing that people don't use very often, and this is something that you may not even know exists, but what about hashtags? Use hashtags to be able to get more people to a video. And you can put hashtags, believe it or not, inside of YouTube as well. So why not use those hashtags, really get people to pay attention to what you're saying? Okay? Now, the last thing I want to talk about is going back into YouTube itself. In your videos, are you asking people to subscribe? That's one of the most powerful things you can do, is literally tell people, hey, if you like this content, please subscribe. There's a subscribe button on the player itself. Right in the bottom corner, there's a button there that you can get people to subscribe with. You can even put a little graphic. A lot of people put their own graphic, their logo or whatever. But honestly, what I use is a little picture of a subscribe button. And I use that as the graphic there that asks people to subscribe. During the video, you ask people to subscribe. You ask them to like the video. At the end of the video, if you're using YouTube's end screens, you can have a subscribe link and big giant graphic of it right there on the video. Use those features to make sure you're giving people the opportunity to subscribe everywhere that they turn. So that's just a given. And of course, do the best things you can. Have thumbnails that make people pay attention. Have titles that make people pay attention. Have some descriptions that make people find it in search. All of those things are going to be a big help. But basically, everything that you do is going to help build that channel if you take the opportunity to really do that. And I hope some of these ideas will help you to do just that. So, we talked about a lot of things. Hopefully that didn't, that wasn't like a shotgun or a machine gun. Hopefully that was just some information that you can take and use right away to start building that channel so that you can get more products, more sales, and more interactivity from people. So there you go.
Yeah, and I've taken notes. I'll put those in the Facebook Live in the comment on Ray's page. And
Very
You know,
nice.
one thing that I've done is from time to time I'll speak to Rotary and Lions and whatever
Sure.
on what is a podcast, how to do a podcast. You know, what's the benefit of doing a podcast, and it's older guys and gals typically, but you got some young folks there as well. But the older folks are really interested. They've heard it. They don't know what it is. They
Yeah.
like to hear about it. And then what I've done is taken out a vanity URL that points to a YouTube video. So I'll say, look, I'll start it by saying, if you want to take notes, you can, but here's my URL. If you go to that URL, it's going to point to a YouTube video that is this exact presentation that I'm now going to give you. And it works well. It works extremely well, and they can go back and take a look at it, and it's got my phone number on it if they want to give me a call. So
Now, if all else fails, by the way, you can always go to Best Buy, walk into the computer section, and set the home page to your YouTube channel. So every time somebody looks at that computer and opens it up, it's going to go right to your homepage.
that's right.
We laugh.
That's
I've
right.
actually done this before. so-
No. You can. Yeah, that's a good idea. So, yeah, these things work, and so a lot of good ideas. And like I said, we've got all the notes on it. So.
Yeah, the bottom line is, you know, we really want to get as many subscribers as we can because it means money to us in the end. Or, you know, maybe it's not money. Maybe it's, you know, you've got a different motive. You just want to build an audience. You got to do these things to really build that and make sure that people have every opportunity to find your channel.
Oh yeah, and that's how I've gotten. By the way, I didn't mention that, but that's how I've gotten subscribers for that channel. I do ask them to subscribe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And, of course, you know, everything we talked about here will work. You got to put the work in yourself. So be sure to do that.
Yeah, very cool. Well, there's another video marketing madness for
Yes,
another
indeed.
day. And video marketing madness today made possible by.
Made possible by freevideoeditor.co. You want people to come to your channel and subscribe? Well, you need to be able to make videos. And if you don't want to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on a video editor in order to do that, well, you can start off by getting our free video editor at freevideoeditor.co. Download the Shotcut Video Editor along with all the great goodies that we're providing in addition to that, and you'll be a pro sooner than later. You'll be making lots of videos, and people will be subscribing to your channel. So it all starts with heading on over to freevideoeditor.co and leave off the last M for Montana.
Montana. Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
The state of Montana.
That's right.
All right. Hannah Montana.
That is
Alrighty.
right. And so with that,
Okay.
Steve, are you ready to hear our funky music?
Rock on, Ray.
All right, well, here we go.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.